We begin this journey at home, here with our feet on the earth, here with our bodies on the earth, and feel how the earth holds us, miles and miles of earth beneath our feet. And with great gratitude for all the support and love that Mother Earth gives us, we are making this journey up from this place of deep rootedness to the earth. And for a moment, connect to the root chakra, the base of your spine, the root of you. Here at the root chakra, we meet the physicality of you, the earth of you, the bones and tissues, the cells of you. The element here is earth, is the gateway of the feminine. We all began as one cell that gathered together to form a body that grew inside our mother's womb. That body became you as you were birthed into the world. The earth of our bodies is woven into the body of Mother Earth, like a blanket that we were born into. And as she holds us close, we can feel her heart beating, that slow, steady rhythm, the heartbeat of Mother Earth. The root chakra is our connection to the earth and to our physical bodies. And when we know and trust our connection to Mother Earth, we can know and trust our bodies, the earth of us. Can know and trust the atoms and cells of us are doing what they're supposed to do without any interference. Your breath breathing inside your body, your heart beating inside your chest, all happening right now, just you, the physicality of you. And as we move outwards and upwards in the temple of us, we begin to feel the bindings that we've gathered along the way. Things that hold us back, that we identify with, what we've grown into, those things that we experienced along the way. This is the way of serpent. She represents the binding principle. It's good to ask here, what have we bound to this body? What traumas have we all experienced as we grew into our world? What are we still holding on to? Our personal wounds, which when healed become our gift to the world. What are those stories that we've attached to ourselves? By identifying with these stories, we take them with us as a suffering, or we can transform them, heal them, and see them as experiences we had, just that. As we make our way up the terraces of this temple of us, we come to that place of realization, from this place now of non-attachment, non-suffering and non-judgment. We just let these old wounds transform. We all experience pain, but when we can give our suffering to the Great Mother to hold, we can then take the next steps along this path, walking in beauty, softly on the earth. And we come to the second terrace of our inner temple, the second chakra. This is the place of Jaguar, the element of water, the place of intuition. It connects us to our mental and emotional body, our thoughts and feelings. Like the ebb and flow of the ocean tides, so our emotions ebb and flow. Our thoughts create our beliefs about our world. Our beliefs about our world influence our emotions. Energy in motion. These energies can move through us, or we can hang on. And from this place we have an opportunity. We can respond from this place with a longing to connect, to create family, friends, relationships. Or we can react with anger, fight, flight. This is where we can make enemies, where when we fight anything, we are still attached to it. Or we can freeze, faint, disconnect totally from our world and from our bodies and from each other. That's the choice. The principle of life, death and rebirth lives here. So we can ask here, what needs to die in order for us to truly live? What thoughts, what beliefs are holding me in their grip? Could I drop the story that there is an enemy to fight? And let's drop here the collective paranoia, our collective wounds, the violence, the greed, the ways we hurt each other, the wars we make, the inequality we create through our actions. Let's drop here the old stories of powerlessness. We have the power at this place of Jaguar to do that, but not from will or from force, but by knowing what our values are, what our integrity tells us, what's important to us as sentient human beings if we are to live as a tribe, a family, in harmony with ourselves, with each other, and with our world. And here's a good place to forgive ourselves for what we didn't know. As we make our way up through the inner temple, we can give back to Mother Earth all those things that do not serve us as sentient human beings. Forgiveness is the key, and gratitude for all the learning along the way, learning how to live with each other in harmony, sustainably, without taking more than we need. As we take this path up towards the top of this inner temple, we get lighter and lighter as we transform and release the old personal stories of our wounds and traumas, and we release our collective wounds. And now we arrive at the next level of our inner temple, moving to the third chakra, the solar plexus. This is the place of hummingbird, a place of growth and evolution, the place of imagination. This is the place of wondering. Wonder. I wonder how my life would be if I didn't have this story of me. I wonder what I could learn from this. I wonder what could be the gift in this, whatever the this is. In this place. Here, maybe we begin, as we make our way up, we begin to hear the ancient teaching stories, stories that have been handed down through time. Ancient stories of what it means to live here on earth, what it means to be a human, what it means to be more than human. Stories of when we were so connected to all life on earth that we could speak with the trees and the birds and the animals and they would speak back to us. Stories that remind us that we are more than simply human. Mythical stories that are maps to guide us along the unknown pathways. As we hear these stories, we are uplifted and we understand that we too can uplift others with these stories of hope and growth and evolution. This is where we find our meaning and purpose in our lives, where we can be of service to our communities, where we learn that the gift in our life's journey has been to lift us up, to discover our unique gift, how we can contribute to the well-being of our communities, our families. As we make our way up the terraces of our inner temple, we gather up these ancient myths, these beautiful stories, and we begin to create our own stories to help lift people up the way this mountain path is lifting us. This is our connection to the air that we breathe, the winds of change that blow our seeds to the wild edges where they take root and begin to grow something new and as yet unknown. New seeds of awareness that we drop along the way for others to follow the path that we are taking. And then we move on up to the topmost point of our inner temple, moving to the fourth chakra, the heart. This is the place of eagle condor. This is a place of inspiration. Here, we begin to leave even the teaching stories behind us for the simplicity of the simple expressions of peace, of love, serenity. Here we rest in our hearts knowing that all is well, that we are enough, that there's nothing to prove, nothing to do, that all is as it was always meant to be. There is nothing to do here but to be that which we are at the essence of us. We've reached the summit. We stretch out our hands to the heavens and call upon the earth keepers of old, those who have lived at this vibration before. We sense them all around us, deepening our knowing beyond words. And from this place at the top of our own mountain, this temple that is you, we find ourselves at a great doorway. This is the doorway into our heart. We see that the doorway is open, and if we choose, we can step through. There's nothing to stop us now. No story holding us, no thoughts, no beliefs to hold us back. And as we step through that portal, the light of the sun pours through into our hearts like liquid gold, allowing our hearts to be filled with the energy from beyond what we know, beyond anything we can understand with our minds, something new. And we realize that this is an endless supply, inexhaustible. And we open our hearts wider and wider until we become this liquid gold. In this moment, we and the dream become one. Then there is only the dream. And we know in every cell of our being that this is why we made this journey. This is why we climbed this mountain. This is why we worked our way through layers and layers of life. This is why we came through all that we experienced, to be right here, right now, in this moment. Opening our hearts wider and wider, letting in more and more gold. This is the dream. This is the new dream. This new energy that is coursing through our bodies right now. This is the dream of a new world. Now, it's time to return. And we bring with us all that we've received, and we begin to make our way back down the path that shows up before even we place our feet. The path is white and shining, and our feet move swiftly as we make our descent. Inspiration has filled our hearts, and now as we make our descent, we begin to use our imagination to weave this into a new and uplifting story for our people. We wonder how this world, this new world will look. How could it serve our people? What new seeds will we sow in the wild edges of awareness? And curiosity fills our hearts and minds. And we continue on down the terraces of this great inner temple, bringing with us this imagining, this wondering, these visions of how things could be. And then, in that moment, our intuition lights up and we know absolutely what we're here for. And we know wholeheartedly that we will find ourselves in the right place at the right time, taking whatever actions are needed in our world for us to be of service. There's a new fire in our belly, a flame that shines so brightly now. And finally, as we arrive back at our home, we see that we are already manifesting this dream, that we are the dream, that our life is the dream, and that our hearts are the new dream for our world. We may not know exactly what that looks like, but we answered the call. We received so many gifts. This life, these thoughts, these beliefs, this body that is the temple has been transformed by the light of universal consciousness. The world is turning up the right way, and we are the turning of the tide. And we will be the new dream. May it be so.